Very few, colour as an art, colour in hair. At the end of the day, when you produce great hair, it's about quality. And it's about actually creating what I call aspirational hair. And there are very few colourists in the world that I've met, and Lesley's one of them. I mean, you are most probably one of the 3 greatest colourists I've ever had the privilege to work for.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And it's great because colour, what I love about this is it's colour first. And we're talking colour. And the world is colourful. At the end of the day, we wear makeup, look at your clothes, we're driven by colour. So colour should be part of the absolute basic mix of what we do as hairdressers, always, okay? But you can only do great colour on a great cut. So I also want to introduce your co-partner. I want to introduce you to another really cool guy, all the way from Greece, Christos Michailidis. He's a really cool dude as well. And it's this wonderful combination that creates simply great hair. Over to you.
Thank you. Guys, I cannot begin to tell you how excited I've been for colorcrafters. I've just been like this, waiting for this day. And now that I'm in this room with all of you, all this insanely talented, passionate colorists, I mean, it's so joyous for me. It's like hairs on end. And I know, though I feel like I know you all, it's weird, I feel like I know you all. I know I don't, but I'm looking forward to getting to know all of you for the next sort of day and a half. So thank you very much. Thank you.
So, hello everyone. I'm really honored to be here working with Ms. Lesley Jennison. I can't wait to meet you all the next today and tomorrow. And we prepped some great stuff to show you. And just remember, collaboration and communication is the key for creating great work. I hope you will enjoy it. Thank you very much.
Now, I've got the next 15 minutes with you, and I know if you know me at all, you know that I love audience participation. So any questions you have, or if you want to come up and have a closer look, you're more than welcome. Millie has the microphone. Please ask me anything you want to know. I'm going to start by showing the montage video of the look that I did for Catwalk 1, the Train 1, collegiate. And so this is Julia. Now, I look at Julia, and even I created it, and I love it to bits and pieces. I did it, so of course I'm going to love it. But I can understand that, when you see this colour, it's like, oh, good God, it's extremely strong. And I really wanted to explain where that kind of feeling came from, because it's only a technique. I've gone extreme because it's catwalk and it's essential looks, and it's I kind of liken it to, if you think of Dolce & Gabbana in Rome, or Alexander McQueen in London, Gareth Pugh in London, what they show down the catwalk is not what they sell in their shops. It's about grabbing a little bit of attention. I get very passionate. It's about grabbing the attention and something that's almost like the zeitgeist of what that trend is. And for me, I thought it might be interesting to let you know how I come about finding this kind of technique. So before we show this video, I wanted to say that for this, I kind of looked for the zeitgeist of what that period was. So that is the defining mood of that particular era. This was the mid-90s, early 90s. And I lived that. That was when I very first qualified. And it was a very exciting time in colour. There was lots and lots of colour. There was a huge backlash with colour, and it started in the US. Consumerism. A lot of, and this is all over, globally, all over. Consumerism, commercialism. I want a bigger car than you, I want bigger shoulder pads than you, I want bigger hair than you. Then the early 90s came about, and there was a youth culture that was like, you know, this is not nice, it's not a good way to be, it's not a good kind of ethical kind of feeling, a massive backlash. So even though you still had these two really different looks, really opposing looks, you still had the Cindy Crawford, one of the top supermodels of the day, one of the top that said no. And they were really, it's all about raw bleach. There was so much raw bleach, and you know me, but I hate the word bleach. I never use the word bleach. Stick that down the toilet or down the kitchen sink. But raw bleach it was, because we didn't. So it was raw bleach. And everybody, literally, you would have at minimum 3 a day coming in, raw bleaches. It was so incredible. Where this came from, this particular kind of look, was actually an American photographer called Davide Sorrenti. Now, Davide Sorrenti was very, very young. He died very, very young. He had an incurable disease that he died when he was 20. But he changed a generation of photography. He changed a whole era, and that moved from USA all through Europe, all the way through to Asia. He was amazing. He shot things that had never been seen before. I've done a little montage, a little video to show you. When you look at this video, you're going to think, well, we see girls like that, skinny, you know, weird shapes. We see that all the time. It had not been seen before Davide Sorrenti did it. It was a little bit, actually, let's show the video. This is my inspiration video. So, really skinny, raw, real looking people. And this is really where the idea of my look came from. It kind of spawned a whole era known as heroin chic. He lived, I mean, guys, on your flights home, if you want to download this documentary, it's about an hour and 20 minutes. It's called See No Evil. And it's all about him and the life and that particular period. It is so beautiful, because this guy knew he was dying from a young boy, but he lived every single moment to the very, very best, every single day. And that's kind of inspirational. He did do drugs at a short period of time. He was blamed even by Bill Clinton, the president of that time, that, you know, the whole heroin chic era came from him. It had nothing to do with him. It just kind of happened all at the same time, and he got blamed for it. He did die from drugs, died from the disease. So I would like to, I think you've seen this. Thank you guys. So what I would like to do before I bring my model on, can we have the before video? So this is my gorgeous model. Beautiful, palest copper blonde hair. That's lovely. Okay, now what I'd like to do is to introduce her on. Thank you. Can I have the... Thank you, darling. Styling for you. This, I find, has been really popular. Whenever I've shown this, whenever I've gone around Europe, I normally say, right, if you don't want the white and very dark, or the raw blonde and very dark, let's do a really pretty blonde, palest blue, palest pink, palest violet. And everybody seems to be very, very happy with that. What I wanted to do very quickly was to do this area here for you, because I wanted to show how we did this kind of very clean, even base. I used Vario with Vario Plus, that's a blue powder in the silver tin, white tin, and with 3%. So my normal kind of technique. Can we show the backstage while I'm going to start? So after that, normally if I was on a big stage and I was talking about catwalk, then I would leave it not just raw like this, I could just go over with 000, so that I've got the finish on the pre-liner, but still kept it very, very raw, which is what I did for the catwalk look for Essential Looks. Now what I'm going to do is do the colour for you. Now because I'm using Vibrance, I am going to damp the hair, but I just wanted you to see the hair before I started. Only 3%. Only 3%. So even though it was quite gold, you know, the beautiful apricot gold blonde, 3%, and you can see super fine sections. I mean, it's slower, but I did have the time. We had all day yesterday, so I had the time. Now, what I've done with this colour toner is to go with 9.5-4 with 000. My favourite to have a very clean blonde is 9.5-1, 000, half. I love it. My favourite, absolute favourite. But I just wanted that hint of beigey tone to it. And there we are. Okay. So, what I have here is how I'm going to do the technique now. Glasses on. Just got to that time of my life. So I'm going to start with the 9.5-4, and I wanted to show you in detail how I created those different kind of intensities of dark on the catwalk and the pink here. So you can see you get different variations of palest to the deeper colour. Am I moving the right way? Thank you. And I'm going to show you now. I've got pink on that cone, darling. So, 9.5. If I was going to be in a salon, to be honest, I would probably just put the whole of the 9.5-4 000 on all over, and then just paint the very ends on the outside. Job done, super fast. However, I just wanted to show you how I did this one. And I'm using the clear foil. Doesn't make any difference, just so that you can see what I'm doing. So in some areas, what I was doing was painting the clear, the pale, the vanilla, whatever, raw, all the way down. Painting the pink in a horizontal line, and then like we normally do, make it really dishevelled, like so. Now I could just paint everything on top. I could do that because pink is quite pale. With the black or the very dark brown, you need to make sure you 100% put a cellophane or foil or cling wrap or anything that you want to use in between every single one. Otherwise you end up with these very ghastly little dots everywhere. It's hideous. So, let's do that. Okay. So big sections, it's vibrance. Now what I want to do is leave the ends, so I now create a much stronger pale pink. With the Essential Looks model with Julia, I literally left pieces out as well, so you've got chunks of lighter pieces going through it. So it really kind of dishevelled, very grunge looking, that kind of modern grunge. And I'm just going to repeat that. Are there any questions about the trend? Am I just explaining it, everything perfectly? Hi, Kat.
You're amazing. I didn't hear if you explained what the pink formula was for your ends.
Perfect. So, great question. Thank you. 9/8, equal parts. Sometimes I go a little bit stronger, sometimes 3 parts 000 with the 9/8. Again, if I'm using a back to see it, then it's just pure. Thank you.
I love it. It's beautiful.
Thank you very much. So, I'm actually going to leave that totally out. Another one on top. And I'm being very careful not to get any colour anywhere else because Christos is coming out in a moment.
So Lesley,
Yes.
here Naomi was telling me that she feels like this color is a little bit less disruptive than the brand that you created before. And I think this is, all about perception, how for the salon, perhaps
Perfect.
using
Yeah.
the same technique but changing that color palette can give you a completely different feeling, right?
Yeah, totally, totally. I mean, the whole thing is that this can be as pretty and as girly and as candy floss or cotton candy, depending where you're from, as you want. It can be cute, or it can be really fierce. But it's the same technique, exactly the same technique. And I'm in front of you, and I'm trying to impress you, so I'm trying to be very, very clean and perfect. And, this is obviously taking me longer than if I was in the salon. I would do the whole technique, 7-8 minutes. So let's do this last section. Thank you for the question. And there we go. Let's just put a little bit.
Versus just toning the hair. And I think everyone can see the difference here on that raw area that you left at the front versus what you've done in the back.
Yeah.
And you told us about the model at Essential Looks, but I think for that one you use 000. Is that correct?
Totally. Yeah, I mean, I love that look of raw bleach, and I love yellow bleach. Again, I'm using the word bleach because it really looks like bleach. I love it, but it's for a particular person. I'm not going to. Lots of people do, and I love it. My favourite thing at the moment is that rawness. So, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to hand you over to the very gorgeous Christos, who's going to just dress this out.
So, hello everyone. You know that we need a little bit of energy and a little bit of applause. We give our best. That's what you know. So, Essential Looks is all about inspiration and motivation to be different from the salon that is next to you. It's all about being directional, being on the latest trends, but many times I get the notice either from clients or from other colleagues that sometimes it's too much directional, even the salon look. But I've been with Schwarzkopf Pro family for 13 years now, and I always say, get the inspiration, get the detail from the hairstyle, get the texture, get the cut, get the inspiration from a fringe, then take it to your salon and make something different, make something edgy. It doesn't have to be the whole look that we did on the Essential Looks. It can be just one little detail that makes the difference. That's the looks today. So already I have the disconnection that can be softer or can be stronger, but the way that I'm gonna approach the styling will be totally different. I'm gonna show you a snappy video in the end of my presentation, because now you know that everybody's doing a video. I'm really specialized in taking good pictures. So all of us that were doing nice photographs, we can make it playing on a loop like a nice video, so we get the approach that we need to have on social media. So, on the look on the collegiate is loaded with a lot of products and kind of look like a wet look that is loaded with full of products. For today, I created a different kind of look that will be dry, and have a look, and I created a very nice kind of finger wave on the front, and then I use the curler, the tongue, as we say, and I use it on a different way. Just on the front, I created a nice wave, and then the rest of the texture, I will be spraying with texturizers, and I will create the same effect on dry hair that we have on the Essential Looks. And I will play with the texture to be similar to the look on the Essential Looks. Texturizer, one of my favorite dry sprays. I use my hands, and it's all about creating and seeing the edges. I had the honor to work with Guido last year. We had a great show of Christian Dior in Athens. I was in the team of Guido, and I can tell that I saw it for the first time. I use my tongue on the roots. I lift the hair and I twist it back. Then on the middle, I twist it the other side. And then in the end, I twist it again. So, gives me a natural texture that is already worked with an iron, but it looks so natural. I use it one way because I want to create now a nice movement. Already seeing the wave is so easy. Now I will use wet texturizer, and I will use my hands to do like classic finger wave. Put it left, then put it right, then push it again. Have a look. Exaggerate a little bit the wave. Then I'm gonna take my favorite because I can use it again and again. But I can brush it out and have very soft hair to work with them again. Because when we're doing like session styling on fashion shows or on shootings, we want to recreate the look again and again because the shooting can take like more than 12 hours. This side I will be very gentle because there is some color on it. Always use your fingers and create it with a cut. Obviously it's all point cutting and a little bit of sliding in the ends in order to create this softness on the perimeter and be edgy, but originally it's like almost one leg cut. Check it in the front. Once you spray, don't be afraid of playing with the hair again and again. This is a nice way to do some pictures as a reel, so you get more traffic, and also you can get strong images and create different texture. On this one, I used more gel with this Monakiroi, so I created a different kind of style. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much.